Going? Yeah, I think you can. Okay. Yeah, I think you can hear me now. How's it going, guys? How's the energy? Yeah. So this is like the startup hub here. We're hosting AI gatherings here. A lot of people, I think you're startup founders, people trying to experience the startup culture. And guess who we have here? We have Matt here. He's the Google head of accelerator for Google. He's one of the best people to involve in startups. He helps a lot of startups to grow and provide all sorts of services. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Matt on stage. Yeah, just a warm clap hands.
Wow. Fantastic intro. Normally, I have to be the hype man myself, but I got a pre-hype man. I love that. That's really helpful for me. How's everyone doing? Great to see you all. We are live from New York. I've always wanted to say that. We are live from New York. Isn't that cool? I'm super thrilled to be here with you all. I'm Matt Ridenour, head of Accelerator and Startup Ecosystem for the US here at Google. Thrilled to get to be your host today. You're in for a jam-packed session. Who's excited? Awesome. Not only do we have amazing people live here in New York in the Google office, but we also have live streamers all around the world joining us. Let's give them a huge round of applause for those joining us all around the world. We're thrilled to have you there. I love to start with the vision. The vision here for AI gatherings is bringing together the best of builders in AI, the best AI startups, the best AI developers, together with the best of Google. Raise your hand if you are a founder or at a startup. Anyone in the startup community? I see some hands. Fantastic. Raise your hand if you are a developer. Okay. You might be doing both, which is great, actually. That's part of why we have this, right? Well, we're thrilled to be working with both sides of the house, or maybe one and the same. Part of what we started to hear about 18 months ago or so as AI was really becoming the mainstream and in every conversation is we would host events, and a lot of startup founders would tell us, I want to find some of the best AI engineers and developers. And then you know what? A lot of the best AI engineers and developers said, I want to go find some of the best AI startups. And so that's actually a lot of why we started this, to connect you all and connect us with the best of Google. I do believe that right now is the best time ever to build. Does anyone else agree with that? Anyone else agree? Okay. And I'm not just saying this because we're at Google. I really believe now is the best time ever to build with Google. And there will be a lot of examples of that you'll hear today. But at the end of the day, this isn't about us. This is about you. Helping you grow, helping you be successful, whether it's your business, whether it's your company, your startup, whatever it might be. You can start building right now at ai.google.dev and use the latest tools, models, all that. You can get started in many ways for free. And a couple other things that I just want to mention. Our org here at Google is running a few different great initiatives to help you. First, there's our Google Developer Groups and our Google Developer Experts. These are regional groups of experts that are building with our products, and you can join if you go to that website up regionally, wherever you are locally. And I'm part of the Google Accelerator team, which is helping accelerate some of the best and brightest top startups in each region around the world. To date, we've graduated over 1,700 startups that have gone on to be worth over $120 billion and over 19 unicorns worth $1 billion. Plus, you might be hearing some of these future unicorns pitch tonight. Who's excited for that? All right. Final thing before we jump into the amazing content is one thing to really help you out. If you're thinking about that next big project, if you're wanting to build your startup even better in the world of AI, you can join our next Gen AI Media Startup School. Check out the QR code there, and you can tune in at the end of this month. We would love to have you. It's free for you to jump in and start building. Sound good? Sound good? Okay, we're very call and response here. So keep the energy coming. Again, today really is about all of you, and I hope that this content feels helpful and fueling for you in your journey. So we will be hearing a few startup shares in the beginning. We'll have a AI keynote with leaders across Google and Google DeepMind. We'll have a panel and then some lightning pitches, 60-second pitches from some leading startups. Sound good? Yeah. Awesome. Can't wait. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to get to hear from some pretty cool startups in the beginning. We like to bookend it, hear from the community in the beginning and the end. This is near and dear to my heart. This is InstaLily AI, based right here in New York City. They just graduated from our most recent AI accelerator. They pushed Gemini and a bunch of new products out during the accelerator, and pretty cool. They were able to leverage Gemini to reduce their latency by almost 100% and costs by 98%. Pretty cool. You're going to be hearing a bit more. Not only that, right after Demo Day, they announced a $25 million Series A with Insight Partners. Let's give them a huge round of applause. We are going to be hearing from Dheeraj talking a little bit more about InstaLily AI. Come on up. Big round of applause for Dheeraj.
Thank you so much, Matt, and thank you everyone for being here. It's inspiring to talk in front of you all. I guess my introduction is that I am a founding engineer at InstaLily, so that makes me both half founder and half developer, but I want to say that I'm developer at heart. Today I want to share a story with you, and this story is, I guess, what runs at the heart of America. The industry, the supplier, distributor industry, and the parts industry that powers plumbing, that powers electricity, that's powering this projector right now, and also powers fryer at your favorite restaurant, keeping it fresh. So imagine at your favorite fryer, it stops working. A technician is called. A technician goes and tries to diagnose a part that's needed to solve this problem. This process is very cumbersome because of very specific, domain-specific knowledge that's required within the equipment and manufacturing parts that you have to overcome. So, at the end of the day, there's only two things that are important here for a technician. They want to be able to surface the right part for the right equipment, and they want to be able to do it fast. They don't want to flip through PDF manuals, go through all the labor-intensive, part mapping process and whatnot to resolve this issue. So, like Matt said, we were the part of Google Alumni School earlier this year. So we partnered with Gemini and we looked into their stack to see what we could resolve within this ecosystem. So, first things first, the problem we're solving is huge in space. There are 5 million parts that you have to get to from a specific query. And we initially prototyped an LLM solution. We used top LLMs and whatnot to kind of like resolve and see how far that goes. But a basic embedding solution just was not up to the accuracy part because these are field workers that require critical, important, and right part to be delivered. So what we did was we prototyped a solution for enterprise search for exactly this use case. While previously the solution we have been using so far has been to actually ask 5 million people to label all of these query to parts where you need a specialized technician to kind of like go ahead and label this thing and you make an embedding model and train on it. For a startup, that's not possible, and you need solution today. So we developed this pipeline, let's go to the diagram. So the thing I want to make clear here is there is three things going on. One is basically having a strong annotator model, a strong model like Gemini 2.5 Pro. And luckily, because of the startup program, we're actually one of the first few users to be able to access Batch API. So, thank you for that. And we were able to successfully kind of distill all of this into Gemma, which is, a lightweight model. I don't know if you guys heard the announcement this morning. Gemma 3N is a multi-model as well, and it's actually now reduced to 700 million parameters, which is 7 times more than what we're using with our BERT right now. However, similar performance. You can talk about this later as well. I'm not going to go into too much details here, but I want to talk about the impact we had using this technology. We were able to cut down the latency by a heavy margin. The 2 minutes there is actually optimized LLM. So optimal solution for LLM looked 2 minutes, but we were able to cut that very significantly, and we were able to develop it within a sub-second model. The cost reduced in a huge way as well, but the accuracy did not change. We were able to hold out the same level of accuracy as you would with a SOTA model that is 500 billion parameters big. So, just to end the story, when LLMs came in, we thought, we're going to get robots and whatnot. Maybe that will happen, maybe this year, maybe in 5 years. But what I want to drive home here is there are really small but innovative technology that is waiting to be discovered. There are really ingenious solutions, and it takes a good technology or a good stack, innovative team, a client that is willing to work with you to achieve all of this. So I'm very inspired by this thing, and this is what this event kind of reminds me about. So very happy to be here and very inspired to be here with you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jiraj. Fantastic to hear. And you'll get to hear more on the panel. Jiraj will be there in a few minutes. Up next, I'm thrilled to introduce actually Zooglers, former Googlers and DeepMinders, Liam and Brian coming up and talking about their latest venture. Come on up.
Hi, everyone. I'm Liam, the CEO and co-founder of Rehearsals.
My name is Brian. I am a founding engineer of Rehearsals.
And Rehearsals watches session replays to find out why people pay, why they churn, and what exactly to build next. We've already helped a pretty large company make $8 million in additional revenue within 7 days of installing Rehearsals. A really fast turnaround. Long term, we build population world models from watching millions of videos of real people using your product. Rehearsals has 3 innovative products. First is customer simulations. Instantly test ideas and pricing on AI clones with your real customers, not some hallucinated stuff. Maybe I'll get out of the way. There's a lot of people taking photos. So the second is Vibe Analytics, where we spot what's blocking growth and tell you what to build next. And third is the generative backlog, where we create UX mocks using Nano Banana, best model ever, and create tickets, prioritize them, and then allow you to send them to your AI agents, right? It could be your marketing agent, your design agent, or your engineer. Now, how does this work in 4 quick steps? We're going to spill the entire secret here. The first step is we capture session replays with a single line of code. That's the most important part. There's no other integration here. And we bring structure to unstructured data. Then we answer the hardest questions, like why are people not using that new feature that you built, and allow you to follow up and dive deeper, like talking to a dedicated research team. Step 3, finally, we'll generate entire design mocks, like I talked about, and specific tickets on what you should do next. And you can send them to your AI agent, engineer agents like Jules from Google or Replit, design agents like Flora, or marketing agents. And I guess step 4 is profit? I don't know, right? Whatever you want to do after that, that's fine. I'll turn it over to Brian.
Sure thing. Yeah, super excited to be part of what I genuinely feel to be a world-class team working on Rehearsals. Tons of us from Google, DeepMind, and also a litany of other people from Apple, IBM, Wayfair, NVIDIA. We love Google. We love it so much that if you sign up now with this fun little coupon code, Gemini for Life, we'll give you 4 months for free. It's $3,000.
Woo!
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so I guess I will completely echo Matt and say that now is absolutely the best time to build. I'll go a step further and say actually now is the best time to build what people want. That's all we got. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Love that. Now is the best time to build what people want. And hey, Gemini for life. Who's going to use that code? That's pretty cool. It's now my honor and pleasure to introduce Francis Ma, who helps lead a lot of our Google developer efforts, and he's going to be talking about our Google AI stack. Let's give a huge round of applause to Francis.
Thank you, Matt. Wow, it's great to be here today. Such a privilege to connect with you all. As Matt mentioned, my name is Francis. I'm a senior director supporting our team called Google for Developers, which includes programs like the Google Developer Group and, of course, our accelerator program as well. So first off, I want to extend a congratulations to all the founders and entrepreneurs here in this room for taking the bold step of building a startup and a business. Applause, some round of applause, absolutely. It is not easy. Prior to Google, I was also a startup founder. And so while my day-to-day job is a little bit different today as a product leader at Google, being connected with the startup community is still very much deep in my heart. And I recognize that being a startup founder is incredibly hard. You have to think about building products, managing your employees, customers, investors, PR, lots of different things. And now in the era of AI, you have this incredible technology, which opens up a ton of possibilities. But at the same time, it's also shifting very, very rapidly. And we as Google recognize your challenges. And our goal is to help make AI helpful for everyone. And this includes supporting developers and founders like yourselves. Now, we believe that AI can bring very positive change to people and societies across the world. And by providing platforms and technologies to developers and startups, we believe that we can further amplify this innovation, not only within Google, but with all of you so that we can collectively make the world a better place. Now, at Google, we've been building AI products for quite some time, a little bit over a decade. From the early days of Google Translate to smart replies in Gmail, magic erasers in Photos, and maybe some of you have used AI overview and search as well, and some of the new products you see on the screen. And through this journey, we've been investing and innovating across the entire stack. From foundation models like Gemini and Veo to frameworks that help you integrate AI into your applications and systems like ADK and GenKit, to, of course, developer tools like AI Studio and Gemini CLI, to infrastructure that helps you scale like Google Cloud, Firebase, and, of course, the deployment environment to reach your users through platforms like Android and Chrome. And we're working hard every day across the company, innovating across all these layers of the stack. And with the rapid pace of change, and with you as entrepreneurs having many, many things to worry about, we believe that it's more important than ever for you to bet on a platform and a reliable partner that can evolve and grow with you. And that's why we're here today, to partner with you in your journey so that collectively we can all innovate and help the world to be a better place. And with that, I'm going to pass it on to Kate to share more updates from the Gemini team.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Francis. Like Francis mentioned, hi, everyone. I'm also super hyped to be here. My name is Kate, and I lead the evaluation for Gemini series of models. In general, all of my work kind of focuses around the two areas of pushing the frontiers of the research that we do, and at the same time trying to bring it closer to you so that you can continue to push and build better and more innovative products every day. So in general, at DeepMind, we have a very bold vision and mission to solve intelligence, to advance science, and to generally benefit humanity. And so we really believe that AI is the avenue through which we can realize that mission, and that can help us to unlock solution to then solve some of the world's most pressing problems. It is kind of unique for a lab to have such broad of a vision, but we really think it's important as we kind of continue to drive different breakthroughs across all of these different axes, that they can help us to unlock kind of newer and better technologies that then we can bring closer to you in all of the product innovations. And Gemini models are really our primary landing ground for all of the innovation that we do. And I promise we work really, really, really hard to kind of try to ship things as fast as possible and get them into your hands as quickly as possible. So Gemini 2.5 series continues to be the most recent series that we have right now. And it pushed kind of the boundary on the model performance and the model intelligence, but also the general model affordability and the performance at like a given fixed cost. So whenever we launch a new series of models, we try to make sure we have a really good representation of models that can cater to different types of use cases where different kind of performance profiles might be more relevant and important for you. And so for Pro, we have been focusing on really pushing the frontier of like what the model is capable of, and in general, what the reasoning boundaries of what the model can do. At the same time, for smaller models such as Flash and Flashlight, these are really designed for speed and for lower costs so that you can have really fast and efficient kind of applications that can work very seamlessly in prod. And by the way, for both of them, we just shipped new versions last week, and so they both really got significant boosts in performance. As we build new models, these are deployed not only just via API, but also across virtually pretty much every single product at Google. And so we're trying to meet, our users exactly where they are, which in turn helps us also understand different types of use cases better and build better innovation cycle to improve across a spectrum of different use cases. And so that means that you should be able to do the work wherever you do your work, and increasingly in your own personal context of information that's relevant to you. So beyond just the core foundational language models, we also have a broad spectrum of generative media models. These are designed to kind of help to unlock new creative content generation across many modalities like image, video, and audio. And so I just wanted to highlight a couple of the most recent ones. And so most recently, we published a new image generation and image editing model built on top of Gemini called Nano Banana, which is very recent. It happened just like a month ago, and already you see successful applications being built on top of it, which is crazy. And we've seen a lot of people come up with like very exciting use cases that unlock kind of completely new capabilities and provide a really high potential for a lot of applications around advertising and marketing and so on. It also allows you to blend two different images together, which kind of helps to build bring a new step towards giving creators more control over the assets that they're generating with AI. In the video space, Veo 3 has been released a while back at this point, and introduced a lot of new capabilities, such as synchronized audio and video generation, so that you can have a character speak, and you can hear actually them speak at the same time. That's synchronized across the lips and across the audio that you're hearing. It also has a really good understanding of the world physics, so that if you see some of the kind of like natural phenomenon, like cutting a tomato that you might have seen, or seeing like water ripples on a lake, they seem fairly natural. And it also has a pretty good prompt adherence. So the model is much better at understanding longer and more complex instructions, which makes the entire prompting and iteration much more efficient. We also recently announced Genie 3, which is a general purpose world model that allows you to generate a huge diversity of interactive environments. And so you can give it a prompt and it can generate a dynamic world that you can navigate and actually explore in real time with 24 frames per second, which retains consistency over several minutes at 720p. And lastly, also from just last week, we announced fresh Gemini robotics, which leverages the multimodal capabilities of Gemini that now allows robots, so we have robots, of any shape and size to accomplish tasks in the real world. And so Gemini Robotics is a vision language action model, meaning that it takes as input vision, aka what it sees via cameras, and then instructions as natural language input to what the robot is actually supposed to do, and then as an output, it showcases the robot actually is supposed to take the actions in the real world. Okay, so all of that is cool, but I suspect that a lot of that is old news to you. The interesting question is what comes next? Well, we envision a future, right, where AI can help to revolutionize a lot of the fields, ranging from science through medicine, education, finance, and everything else that you've been working on. And so these are really the use cases that we're hoping to unlock with new innovative products. And so in order to get that there, let's take a look through some of the capabilities that we're prioritizing for improving across our models to help to realize this vision. And so we have active research happening in a lot of different areas, and we're trying to improve a lot of the Gemini capabilities. But some of the really important ones that we think are critical for us to get there are listed here. So we continue to focus on a lot of core capabilities of the model. So things like the long context performance and understanding, factuality, instruction following. But we also are continuing to make sure that our models continue to work seamlessly across all of the core modalities that I've listed earlier. Going forward, we also want to make sure that the Gemini models help us to kind of push the boundaries on tasks which require a lot of complex multi-step planning and tool use, and are able to help to automate a lot of the more complex scenarios that you might be seeing. And yeah, I realize that it makes it look as though we're investing pretty much in everything. And I think that's true, but I think it's also really important for us if we do want to make some progress and help you unlock all of the new kind of use cases and capabilities. So thank you so much for that. And Matt.
Huge thank you to Kate and Francis. Let's give them one more big round of applause. So cool to see what's coming out. We're just setting up quickly for the AI panel. We will have about a half an hour to ask some questions of those that you just heard from, and I'll be teeing that up, and then we'd love to get a few audience questions in. Does that sound good to you all? So be thinking of that burning question that you just got to ask, and let's keep it relevant to the conversation, of course, but we'll have that at the end. Sound good? Awesome. So once we get these set, we will welcome back up. Do we have, I think we need one more, right? Yep. Okay, great. Yep. I'll just move this up. Oh. Yeah, one more. Right. Yeah, you can just throw that right there. Yep. Perfect. You just heard from them, but we're bringing them back up. Let's give another big round of applause. Francis, Kate, Diraj, and Liam, come on up. And I think, yeah, oh yeah. And we'll, yeah, if you want, that would be highly coordinated if you sit right under your. You don't have to forget. Then we'll, it's like a subtitle for you. You get, we won't forget who it is. Really cool. Wasn't that great to get to hear from each of the startups and from Googlers kind of leading some really great stuff in AI? So I want to kick it off here, we'll tee up a few questions and have a bit of a conversation, deeper dive on what we just heard about. Would love to hear from each of you two things. One is, what are you just really excited about right now in this moment in AI? What do you think is just novel and interesting, particularly for people building? And what do you think is going to be really unique, interesting things people should be thinking about on the horizon, 12 to 18 months out as they're building? Francis, do you want to kick us off and then we'll kind of come down?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think especially in the forum where we heard a lot of founders, one of the things, of course, we're all paying attention to AI innovations. But for me personally, what's really exciting is what AI in turn enables, in particular, lowering the barrier to entry to be able to build startups. I talked about being a startup founder just 20 years ago. I had to even rack my own servers. Nowadays, you can really build a startup, go super quick. So I'm super excited about really seeing not only the current set of entrepreneurs, but ones that might be thinking about doing it. Do it. This is the time.
Really cool. Thanks, Francis.
I can go next.
Yeah.
So I've had maybe a bit obscure, but a long-standing rant for the last 2 years that initially after ChatGPT came out and everyone got really, really excited about LLMs, for the longest time, the only application people could think of was slapping a chatbot somewhere in their product and just moving on. I just think it's just such an uncreative way of building products that this new technology enables. And I feel finally over the last year, the amount of movement and growth in all of the products that help developers actually code better, but are designed from scratch, not just slapping a chatbot, but how would you actually design a product that would look differently in this era? And it's great to see, and I feel that's slowly starting to expand to other areas and building these AI powered products from scratch with which requires a lot of hard thinking, experimentation, and ideation and creativity. And so that's what I'm really most excited about, both right now and in the 18 months from now.
That's perfect. Yeah, they could be one and the same, actually, which is great. Daraj, what about you?
Yeah, I would like to second both of your points. I think the barrier to entry has reduced dramatically. And also, one thing I want to also say that is, I think, with these new innovations that are coming and new products that are coming, there are, I think, non-trivial products out there that we have not discovered yet. And I'm very excited to see those, creativity kind of pop up. But at least that has been my experience, with what I shared as well. But I think more of that is to come. And I think innovation is kind of staring us at the face. We are just not seeing it yet, kind of situation.
Absolutely. Liam.
Yeah.
As an ex-Googler recently, less than a year ago, and also now building a company.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I have to echo Kate's point of the slapping of the chatbots everywhere. I mean, it's. I was previously the product manager for the Gemini API when it launched a year ago, and I saw the exact same thing as everyone's just building more chatbots, and there's just a bit of early on a lack of creativity and what can you actually do with this. There's so much more application. I think I got too close to the sun, and that's why I left and started building a company. But I think the two things I'm most excited about is this application of AI that is not a chatbot. That what can you do with user interfaces or the real world and look at problems that exist out there and what can you do with the incredible technology that is in Gemini. And the second thing is world models. I think there's a debate around what does that mean? What is the definition of that? And my perspective of it is it's when you have more than just a two-way conversation, but the model truly understands the environment and what is projected to be next. So there's so much around world models that we don't know, and that's just something that keeps me up at night, I guess. Yeah.
So much so that you had to go build, which is great.
I had to go build.
Speaking of, love that. Appreciate that kind of window into the current and the future. Turning for a sec to scale. Let's talk a bit about scale. I feel like that word has always been in the startup world, but maybe taking on a new meaning in the age of AI, maybe getting, I don't know, $8 million in contracts in a week or so. I mean, these are, $100 million valuations in 2 months with certain, lovables and all that. Curious to hear how you're thinking about scale in the age of AI and what's different right now. Who wants to take that?
Want to start from this direction? We'll come back this way.
Yeah, do you want to take it and we'll go back?
I was still thinking about my answer there. I think it goes back to if we stopped innovation on LLMs right now, if 2.5 was the last model to ever exist, there's probably 10 years of additional work that could be done in the application of models.
Yeah, wow.
And there we go.
Yeah.
And I think that just shows the potential of what could be done and what there is so much more to do. And to Matt's point, right, of like you throw one thing on Twitter or Instagram or TikTok and we're more connected than before, that it just blows up, right? And so many people out there can get that reach of your product. The biggest scale concern that my team and I have is token costs, because we get a couple customers on and then we get a couple more million sessions and it becomes kind of a headache, but we can solve those problems. So.
Very good problems to have, actually. Many customers using them. Anyone else want to add on? Yeah.
Yeah, I think another exciting aspect of there are the multiple layers of scaling that we often think a lot about at Google as well. Like there's, the infrastructure, the things that we can do. But I'm personally very excited about the possibility of scaling as a company in, the productivity of the employees, right? And, we've heard talks about vertical agents, and tools that can help you automate like what to build next and various things like that. And I'm just looking forward to, in the next couple of years, we're going to get a lot more capabilities into each of these specialized functions that are really going to accelerate the productivity. And so in that regards, I see that, in addition to scaling from a customer workload standpoint, but also the productivity where you can have a small company and, operate like you have a team of 100. So I'm really excited about that.
I love that, both sides of the product and also the team itself being able to be scaled. Anyone else want to?
Yeah, I wanted to kind of like touch on the point that you just made about, when you're building within a vertical, right? Usually it's very important to kind of decide what features are you going to keep in your stack versus what is a noise, So at least at Instantly, the way we have been thinking about it so far, and I think it's like we're double downing on this, is you have to be careful about point solution versus what is going to turn into infrastructure. So listen to your customers. Ask your clients what is their major problem and really listen. They will tell you exactly what you need to scale and what you need to build in the infrastructure for.
Did you want to add on? Or?
I mean, I think a spicier question would be like, what's not scaling? Because it feels like basically.
I love that. Let's reverse it. We can get spicy. We're a group of friends, right? We can get spicy. Yeah, go.
I feel it, but I don't have a good answer because I think based on all of these responses, right? Like, everything that people have mentioned earlier, right? Like this being a great time to build, right? Everything seems like at a larger scale, there is like all the funding and all the, like more that you can do with like the scaled investments, the scaled kind of distribution channels across like reaching higher levels of people, the scaled kind of capabilities that we now have and are able to like unlock with the increased model performance. So truly +1 to the earlier, it's time to build now.
That's a perfect segue, and I love the flip, particularly because we have a number of people that are product managers or have been working, deeply in product. So let's talk a little bit, in a way, Francis and I were talking before about, in a way, as a CEO of a company, if you're building a startup, you kind of have to own many hats. One of those is you are the chief product person as well in some way. You have to like cast the vision, build the right thing, say yes to the right things and no to the other things, right? So talk a little bit more, anyone, about in the age where you could build anything, how do you decide what to build and not? And just maybe riff on the evolving role of the product manager. Anyone want to take that? Yeah,
I can start with that. First, you can use runrehearsals.com. That's one way to do it.
Gemini for life, coupon
Gemini
code,
for life, $3,000. No, but all seriousness, I was a product manager at Google for 5 years. I worked on Google Maps. I worked on Gemini, and before that, was a product manager at Microsoft. And I think when LLMs came out, a lot of product managers were really scared. And you probably all went through this if you are a product manager of, am I just middle management? Am I kind of in the chopping block here? But, I think the narrative started to change a little bit of actually, it's a really great spot to be in a product manager. When all you have to do is prompt your way through something, you can build anything. And a product manager's goal really is to focus on what matters and to your point of talk to customers and talk to people and figure out what to build. And it seems like the how to build is getting a little commoditized, but I think the role of the PM is actually becoming more important and you should feel good about your job.
Love that. That's a good optimism. optimistic take. Francis, I know we were talking about this.
Yeah, I feel very much the same way. And to double click on that, one of the things that we're doing a lot of at Google, and I'm seeing a lot in the industry as well, is that entire workflow as a PM, right? Like building on the question of figuring out what to build. Now to do market research, we can kick off deep research, right? We have a lot of tools that can help us build prototypes. And instead of showing mocks to customers, you can actually build a working prototype to really validate some of your thesis, right? And and of course, we have new tools that can also figure out, anticipate what customers are doing, why they're not adopting, et cetera. And so I feel like across that whole life cycle now, being a product manager is really empowering, because now it used to be the case where, I had to wait for, say, an engineering partner to be able to build something, a design partner to be able to mock it up. Now, as a PM, I can do practically all of that end to end to really validate the need before really investing, going big into it. So I think that whole transition, it's really exciting for me.
Yeah, so I think at least my experience so far building for last 2 years has been these roles have been kind of merging. There's no developer, PM, sales, a person who is client-facing, a person who is go-to-market engineer. Those are kind of getting blurry. And I can tell you at InstaLily, each one of us is a product manager. Each one of us is a developer. Wow. And we're also talking to clients, and we're also looking for what feature request to get. So I think, like we said, the entry to barrier has decreased. So has the work that's needed to build. So you can actually get the developer experience and also product manager experience directly from the source. So I think it's getting way blurry now, and I would actually believe that product management skill is way more important now than it used to be. Although, to your point, we all thought it was not the case, but I think I think
18 months ago, everyone was a little scared. Now we're good. Yeah, absolutely. Anything to add there, Kate?
Yeah, I mean, I think +1 to both the sentiment of, I think there has been a bit of a discourse also in PM communities about, the role of PMs going forward and how that's changing and evolving. And I think being this, the V2 of that occupation, maybe being a bit more enabled to do more things, right? To be able to prototype, to do some market research, and just having this more merged person that is able to do a lot of things at the same time. And I think definitely a lot of these new tools enable this. I also think there are some things that have changed to your kind of initial questions around what we observe has changed a bit. I think the way that you design products, there are some things that stayed the same, right? It's still the most important thing that you can do is what do people want? What are the problems that you are actually solving? And just being ruthlessly asking the same question all the time and every single day, because people tend to forget that in the era of AI and just the easiness in which you can add new features. So all of that stays the same. At the same time, there are some things that I think work a bit differently, because how you design products where you have now this huge uncertain component, which you don't know if you're going to provide a correct answer or not. How do you handle these interactions where you're not sure necessarily if, you always have the correct outputs and so on. So there are some maybe different design paradigms that you have to work around. So I think that's maybe a bit of a change. Plus, how do you evaluate this? There has been also a lot of discussion, and maybe being a bit of a biased view coming from a person that works on evaluation of But I think focusing on making sure that you continuously encode your requirements and evaluation for the models that you're actually employing and deploying is also becoming critical, and a skill that the PMs have to embrace.
Love that. I love the idea of kind of the blurring lines between roles. I think that's actually a good thing, right? To start to get the sales engineers in, and with the PMs, with the no one's just in a silo anymore. And I think that's probably good for products, especially talking more to customers, right? Final question, and then we'll open it up to the group here. Just a quick word of advice to folks. What's one of the best pieces of advice you've gotten either recently or you'd like to pass on to people that are looking to build in this age of AI?
Maybe I'll start. This is a piece of advice I learned a while ago, but I have felt that it's been evergreen that has served me really well, and I still believe it very much today. So, we talk a lot about technologies and AI and all of that, but the fundamental advice that I've gotten that helped me a lot is think about your communication style and how do you adapt that to your audience. And this is ever true, whether you're working with a teammate, you're trying to sell to a customer, you're pitching investors, and all of that. And specifically for me, there's a book. It's called The Social Styles Handbook. You can find it on Amazon. It's a fairly thin book. And that unpacks the different communication styles. And that, for me, has been true tested through time.
Fantastic. Thank you. So, social, say it one more time.
It's called the Social Styles Handbook.
Everyone, I want to see you all clicking and buying right now. So, great advice. Liam already bought it. It's great.
That's the new speed.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like I think like the advice that I've actually listened to maybe for once from maybe like one of similar presentations and panels in the past was when someone, I think, just like highlighted the importance of, just trying things and just showing up. And however lame that it sounds, and I know it's a huge cliche, but I think like I always think about this because there are always things that I might be scared of or things that I feel like maybe are not worth my time. But like you never know what's going to happen. You never know which opportunity that you're pursuing is actually going to pan out. And like always, I try to rationalize things for myself if I'm getting kind of afraid of something, to like create the craziest counterfactuals of like what's the weirdest and craziest thing that could happen, and they are never really that crazy. So I think that's the thing that works for me.
Yeah. By the way, amazing advice from both of you. I think I would take a different angle, being a developer and being a builder by heart. I think there has been a lot of talk about, will AI replace software engineering jobs? Or what will developers' job look like in future? I want to provide a point of view in this and maybe a solace, and maybe I'm wrong. But I think what's the most important skill in the day and age of AI is to be able to build with AI. So I would actually ask you and encourage you to kind of deep dive in, use AI as a tool that will help you elevate, and you will see where you reach. And what's not true is that once AI that can code everything is built, everyone's job is gone. Actually, there will be more softwares that will have to be created. Everyone will want a software. Even this mic will probably, you should be able to talk to your mic. So net and net, you'll actually have more software being built. So what really required there is actually the intelligence of communication on what is actually required, the ability to kind of know what's important, cutting through the noise, and moving away from fancy demos and whatnot to actually providing value in terms of what is required. And I think that is going to be the most important skills for developers, for PMs, for any builder.
Love that. Can we get a +1 there? That was great. Liam, take us home.
Okay, 3 things I want you to do. The first one is AI moves so quickly that you need to have, maybe an X account. Make sure you just follow a bunch of people that are building, put those notifications on, because things change daily, right? And the difference between you being a month behind versus a week behind means you could code that thing that you thought you could code and now you can't, or whatever, right? So just be really attentive at how fast things are moving. Like Google announces something every week, it seems like. So just be attentive with that.
Every day.
Every day.
Kate knows.
Can't take it. So just take the fire hose. The second thing is to your point, build stuff. And don't be afraid to just kill the thing that you built, right? Like go ahead, try building something, put it out there. It's probably going to fail, but it might take off. And then a week later or 2 weeks later, try something new. Don't go too deep. Just try it, throw it out there, and the world will decide if it's a good idea or not. And the last one, I think, Matt, to your point, in a world where focus really matters and you can build anything and everything, just really focus on what the problem that you're trying to build is. Don't make another photo sharing app, right? Like think about what you're doing. Maybe, you journal. Like I do a lot of journaling. Reflect back on what were those days like and maybe circle around the common complaints that you had every day, and maybe there's something there that you could build. So those would be my 3 things.
Love it. Hey, wow. Really great. Really great advice. Let's open it up to a few questions. I think I see, two very fast hands up here. So we'll start with those two, then we'll go here, and we'll maybe take one more at the end. I think those that won't be on stage later we'll start with, and then
Matt, thank you so much for bringing all of us here together. This has been really wonderful. Liam, Dheeraj, Kate, Francis, you guys are not only inspirational, but gave some really, really great perspectives. I wanted to talk to you guys about, or ask you, is we're actually doing an event, and the idea of the event is AI will never replace ... And so I wanted to understand from each one of you, including Matt, what that one word would be that you can actually share with us.
One word. Creativity.
Nice.
creativity.
Can it be 2 words?
Why not?
Hyphenated. Human connection.
Emotions.
Style.
Relationship.
Very nice. Thank you.
So I know that October is Cybersecurity Month, and in the spirit of being a developer and an entrepreneur, I want to know how, specifically last week around UN General Assembly 80, the conversation that I was in was about how 8 out of 10 of the cyber attacks that will happen is going to be a result of misuse and misinformation fed into generative AI tools. So how are you all safeguarding your proprietary information while using and building with all of these amazing AI tools? And what are some tips that you can share with us in this room to help us stay safe and stay away from our competitors who want our valuable information?
Great question.
Anyone can answer.
Super simple one. Anyone want to take it?
I was just going to pass that over to Kate. I feel like evals are kind of the best
Kate.
way to do a lot of these things, and Kate's going to save us all. So
We're really counting on you here, Kate.
I hope you can fix this, Kate.
I mean, I think there are 2 different aspects, right? Like one is like the general, I guess, like safety and like security of like the underlying models, and especially for all of like the top level providers, like believe me, it's like a huge aspect of like what we do and evaluate and check and report on as well. You can find different like system cards and like model cards by all the providers to showcase like how we feel, how secure the models actually are. I think that's just like one piece of it, because I think I'm not sure about like all the findings of the report and like the discussion that was happening there, but I'm assuming there's a lot of different, like vectors of like attack that probably are a bit more novel than just like misinformation given by the model itself, which keeps on improving and kind of being improved over time, but also like how you secure your applications, like in the past, like SQL injections, how does that work in like the era of LLMs and all the like prompt hacking and so on. Which I think there is also an increasing number of like really, really cool startups in this space, and maybe like a food for thought for others here who maybe are working on their ideas, that there's probably still a lot of innovation that's going to be needed, and how we having some specialized solutions to actually like secure and help other founders secure their applications is going to be becoming even more critical as these models get more capable.
Yeah.
AI problems need AI solutions, not policy.
Yeah, AI problems need AI solutions, not policy. Yeah, and building up on what Kate has said, at least speaking for Google, we certainly, think a lot about this problem. And there are teams of experts that are far beyond my depth, but I know that, and within the company are thinking a lot about that. From a builder's perspective, one of the things that we also publicize as a company is a secured AI framework. It's SAFE, SAIF. And you can look at that, and we, share some of our learnings and thinking about, various attack vectors, potential risks vectors that we need to be considered. So, to your point, I think it's a really important question. I think first step of that is to raise the awareness and have that conversation. So a framework like that, is one of an example of how, we're doing our part to help the ecosystem to think about some of these things. So I would encourage folks to check that out if you haven't seen it.
I would also like to add a couple of points here. I think from a developer perspective, right? I think we hear a lot of protocols that's being released. So for example, in the morning, there was a announcement about payment protocol from Google, A2A, which is agent-to-agent communication, MCP, which is Model Context Protocol. So, I think these conversations are happening. However, we have also noticed from a lot of people who we work with that these are very critical systems, and you can't really look over it in a production environment. So, I think one of the challenges when you actually build a good demo that works provably and, with results, is to kind of move that system into production environment, which is secure, authenticated. And, as a builder, you may not always have those tools because this is extraordinary amount of research, expertise kind of needed to come up with the solution to these things. Of course, you can have your own evals and benchmarks and whatnot for your own agents. And especially with agents, it's harder because for different verticals, you can have different things and different functionalities and whatnot. So it is also important to rely on someone else who is actually doing these things at scale. So this is where partnership kind of comes in, where you can actually rely on these things with someone who is very trustworthy and you can kind of like lean into. I think that's has been kind of like our journey. And, this is a very important point that you raised. And I think it's going to be even more important moving forward.
Yep.
Hey everyone, I'm Sean. Thank you, Matt and crew, for the inspiring discussion so far. Love A2A and A2P. I feel like building in open source is such a important part of our future, and inspired by Kate in terms of trying to figure out a spicy question.
Oh no!
There was that MIT report in August that said 95% of Gen AI, like enterprise solutions, are not transitioning or going into prod, or they're failing right now. How should we as founders think about durable value? If we were building with the tools and keeping up and doing our best, what is the thing that will help us ensure that whatever we build ends up being valuable in the long term?
So I guess my take is similar to what I mentioned earlier, is that I think the core and most important thing is like focus on like, is there a problem that you're actually trying to solve? Do you have actual users with that problem? Is that something that they care about? Because I think like I'm not surprised that a lot of, applications might not be successful because, like I mentioned, it feels like for a long time, people were just like trying to like, apply this one specific solution everywhere where it didn't really make any sense. And so I think like being more mindful about, like it is a new technology that is very exciting and unlocks a lot of new innovations. But like for you as a founder, the most important thing is to identify a problem that actually needs to be solved rather than like slapping that everywhere.
Put a chatbot on anything, right? Anything to add?
Yeah, if we look back at these kind of massive milestones have happened before, if we look at like the web and we look at mobile, and in the beginning of mobile, when the iPhone came out and Android came out and everything, there were a lot of fart apps, right? There were a lot of kind of nonsense stuff out there that added no value. And they were made by a lot of companies that really didn't give a damn, right? And they were just trying to extract as much monetary value out of the wave that was existing right now. And I think if you look at that report and you dive into it a little bit, you see that most of the companies where the AI integration failed, it was because it was, I'm not going to point fingers at certain companies, but some companies are, some legacy companies that are just trying to shovel the next thing into their customers. And and they didn't really they weren't thoughtful about it and actually making something, to Kate's point, that added value. And so this is the time for founders and startups who have that fresh perspective and actually understand the technology, actually understand the problems, and genuinely try to add value, as opposed to just selling a new trend to your existing customers and clients and trying to make more money off of them.
+1. Can you do a +1 in real time, I guess? Yeah. I think we have time for one more. Yeah.
Hi everyone. So my name is Akash. I own a startup in the edtech space, and I have a bunch of mobile apps currently. So they're doing pretty good. I have about hundreds of thousands of users actually, and I'm focused on making learning much more personalized. I still haven't integrated the AI into those applications because I'm facing a dilemma right now. I'm funding the startup from my day job as a software engineer, and the models, as you know, are getting much better and much more, efficient and much affordable as well. The dilemma is that should I go ahead and do what I want, that is integrating AI into the apps and make it more, do it right now, or wait a bit so that the tokens get much more affordable and I can use the money that I save on marketing and other things. So what do you guys think?
Trivial question. My quick take is that I think like the trend that we've been seeing for the last like few years is that like every 6 months roughly, like you can get, I don't know, an order of magnitude like cheaper, like access to like intelligence that was like frontier like 6 months ago at, like 10x cheaper. And so I think like some of this like trend will continue to happen. So I think like I don't think there is a simple answer, because it also depends on like, like to what extent are you seeing gains? Like what kind of, would adding AI, like how would that help your users and scale that? How much funding you have and all of these kinds of questions. And things will continue, I think, to move pretty fast. And so it's, I think, like a decision that you need to take considering all of these factors.
Yeah, my take is that, building what Kate said, like I think there are a lot of considerations to it, but the general philosophy I like to take is the more reps and iterations and learning you can get, the more likely and faster it is that you're going to get to that right answer. So a lot of it is unknown. We don't know, right? Part of it is trying, part of it is failing, part of it is being able to iterate and continue to build from there. And so I know that getting that next step is always hard, and it is not a trivial choice. But maybe you might look into like edge models that might, not have the server-side inference costs as a way to start testing and validating some of the assumptions. And then there you might be able to start to build stronger conviction to say, okay, it is worth it for me to invest more and then continue to scale out from there. But I would feel that given how things are shifting, the not putting in AI and not learning and applying it could potentially miss out on a big opportunity. That's my personal take.
Fantastic. Really great questions. Huge thank you to our panelists. Let's give a big round of applause. Thank you, Francis, Kate, Dheeraj, Liam. Awesome conversation. And now we will take a quick break, and then we'll have lightning pitches next. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. And by quick break, I mean stretch break, but don't leave. We'll basically just have 30 seconds here. Oh, thank you. All right, you will not want to miss out on these 9 lightning pitches. So here we go. The last part of our time. We're going to go fast. 60 seconds each. Can you believe that? We are going to have 9 startup founders sharing what they're building in 60 seconds. Who's ready? Who's ready to hear it? Awesome. Last part of our time together. I am thrilled to welcome up for our first Google Accelerator alumni. Let's give a big round of applause for Envy. Take it away.
Thank you so much. Uh-oh. Oh. Hi, everyone. I'm Shayna Vieira, founder of Envy, a personal home inventory platform for consumers. Because every year, consumers spend trillions on personal items, furniture, art, fashion, tech. But once purchased, those items are vanished from the data stream, untracked, uninsured, and invisible to both owners and enterprises. That's over 6 trillion in untracked personal assets, a blind spot in the consumer economy, and the missing link in supply chain or traditional supply chain systems. Envy is solving that. We're building the infrastructure for the post-purchase economy, using AI to turn personal items into structured, real-time asset data that powers resale, insurance, and financial services. Our customer platform makes it effortless. You can just snap a photo or connect to a retailer, and Envy authenticates, values, and logs these items, creating a living portfolio and a new channel for enterprises to access their high-value customers. We're raising a seed round to scale, expand our enterprise pilots, and bring this untapped data set to life. If you are an investor, mentor, or someone in the following industries, I'd love to connect: InsurTech, FinTech, or retail intelligence. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for kicking us off. These really are like lightning, aren't they? 60 seconds. Let's welcome up PaperMap AI. Big round of applause.
Hello, everyone. So I'll start with an African proverb that says, knowledge is like a garden, but if you don't cultivate it, you can't harvest it, right? And that's the story of 90% of small and medium-sized businesses in America. They are sitting on a lot of data, but the existing BI tools are not built for them to succeed. Only 19% of small and medium-sized businesses leverage their data, and they outperform their peers by 2 times. And small and mid-sized businesses are leaving as much as $1 trillion on the table by not leveraging their data. Hence, we built PaperMap AI, a business intelligence platform that is designed for decision makers that works in 3 easy steps. Connect your databases, ask questions in plain English, and our agent is going to do all the coding for you to extract actionable insights from your data. You can scan the QR code and try our product. And we are looking to partner with strategic investors. And yeah, thank you so much.
Fantastic. We love having these at the end because you get to hear all the ways people are building across tons of different areas. Isn't that awesome? Up next, let's welcome up Ruzo. Big round of applause.
Hey. I'm Manoj, founder of Ruzo, and as a founder, I'm pretty occupied and keep getting pulled in different directions. So as a founder, I try to optimize by automating my most repetitive use cases. But the truth is, the current automation softwares, let's just say, they're not so great. Sometimes they take more time to set up than they save. So we are building Ruzo. Ruzo is first of a kind, AI native, completely single prompt automation platform. 0 setups, no configurations. You just give it a task and it gets it done. We are backed by some of the best VCs, and we are now publicly available as well on Ruzo.ai. So would love for you to try it out and see how it helps you.
Thank you so much, Manoj. Up next, thrilled to introduce Altruistic Scribe. Big round of applause.
Hello, everybody. My name is Udonis Tobeya. I am the founder of Altruistic Scribe. So by show of hands, please, is there anybody in this room who knows anybody that English is a second language or is an immigrant? Beautiful. So altruistic scribe solve language disparity problems. So over 25 million Americans live with limited English proficiency. Unfortunately, they do face healthcare disparities, including permanent injury and death. So we provide real-time AI-powered, HIPAA-compliant language translation in medicine. We're focused in healthcare. We're not a one-size-fits-all. Right now, malpractices range anywhere between $5 million to $100 in settlement. So the healthcare industry is hemorrhaging money. So we're looking for partnership with strategic partners in healthcare or people aligned with healthcare on a national level and also on a global level. Thank you.
Fantastic. Up next, I love this name, Happy Alien AI. Let's give a big round of applause.
Hey everyone, I'm Susan Kingsley, CEO and co-founder of Happy Alien AI. And essentially the problem that we're solving, corporate e-learning, they operate under learning management systems. And unfortunately, they offer minimal analytics. Courses have no memory and little personalization. And essentially, what this does is it wastes billions of dollars on ineffective programs. Enter us. So what we do at Happy Alien AI is we use artificial intelligence to seamlessly move learner data from one course to another. And we also offer instant analytics. And so what's truly amazing, though, is that is with or without an LMS. And so we do offer a first-of-a-kind solution, and we are really looking forward to helping organizations understand and enhance their learning. And my co-founder is also here in the back, so afterwards, please ask us if you have any questions. We are looking for some pilots, and yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Matt.
Of course. We're over halfway through. I can't believe it. Up next, Renea AI. Big round of applause.
Who is concerned about healthcare? The USA healthcare real crisis is not a medicine. It's the administration and delivery method. Every year, USA healthcare system lose $250 billion because of inefficiency and administration. At Rania, we are streamlining healthcare administration tasks by using our agentic flow. We build this solution so that the doctor can focus on patient, staff can focus on their work, and we can focus on automating the administration work. Rania is now expanding more faster and swallowing the real problem that is faced by millions of Americans. And we are looking for strategic partner in healthcare and talent who can help us to build the future of healthcare. Thank you.
Fantastic. Up next, let's welcome Tashvi. Big round of applause.
Hello, everyone. My name is Charles Nischel. I have a question for you. Who loves jewelry? Looks like a lot of people. So jewelry design is an art form. It's beautiful, it's timeless, and has been refined over centuries. However, designers take weeks iterating on sketches, revisions, before the piece is ready for production. Tashvi AI changes the whole process. It allows ideas to get into production-ready designs within seconds. We are here looking for early-stage investors who can help us increase adoption of Tashvi AI among jewelry brands worldwide. Thank you.
Fantastic. Bet you weren't thinking you were going to hear a pitch on generative AI for jewelry today. Pretty cool. Up next, let's hear from Toronto AI School. Big round of applause.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Muskan Sandhu, and I'm a CEO and a founder of Toronto AI School. This is not just a school, it is my passion. I do have experience of more than 15 years in IT industry as a developer, solution architect, product manager, you just name it. I do have a lot of experience, and I'm turning my experience into a passion now. So Toronto AI School is just not an idea. It's actually already taking place, and it's working with a partnership with many corporates already. It's just because it is backed up by me, the person who has a lot of experience plus the passion. And what we are solving here, because companies, enterprises are spending billions of dollars on the employees training, and unfortunately 80% of the employees, they never adopt the AI. And what happens, the budgets just goes wasted, and there is no ROI. And what happened with this, then we are bringing with the solution, and the solution is not just to teach the AI and bring the boring courses, theory to the people, because no one wants to learn the theory and no one gets a job after learning the theory. So the solution is we are bringing the real-time AI tutors, and the tutors actually teach you. If you are an engineer, telecom engineer, it's going to teach you the network optimization, or if you are in the banking, it's going to teach you the fraud detection. AI tutor will exactly teach you what you are supposed to teach, no wastage of the time. And on top of that, it is actually bringing hands-on labs with definitely the Gemini and the Google Vertex AI, which is the best in the market for sure. I'm saying it, I do have experience in AI, so yes, it is best in the market. And what else you're getting? Dashboards where you can measure the ROI. If employees are learning, you can measure if their profitability is or their productivity is getting increased or not with the ROI dashboard, because that is very important. If you're teaching them, you want to know if you're getting any return on that investment or not. If particular team is doing how much they have saved dollars and the save of the time. This is what we are bringing, and we are inviting the bold enterprises who are ready to do the partnership with us, and they want to bring the hype of the AI into a real learning and real ROI. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Last and certainly not least, let's give a huge round of applause for Veris AI.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Andy Partovi. I'm the CTO and co-founder of Veris AI, and I'm also a Zoogler. The problem we are solving is reliability, quality, and compliance of AI agents in production. You heard about that in the AI panel just recently today. It's a massive problem for productionizing AI agents, especially in enterprises. The way we are solving it is through a simulation environment that is simulating all the tool calls, simulating all the user interactions, and can run hundreds of realistic scenarios to stress test the agent and create traces for fine-tuning and training the agents. We are a late seed stage startup. We are about 10 people based in here, New York City, in Soho, and we are looking for partners and collaborators within Google. We are already talking to people at DeepMind and YouTube for reinforcement fine-tuning gyms. We are looking for more collaborators here, and also GCP customers. So hit me up afterwards or go to our websites. Thank you.
Fantastic. Let's give one more huge round of applause to all of those that came up and pitched. Awesome. Really, really great to hear all the different applications people are building. Let's close it out. As I mentioned at the very beginning, let's get building. You can use, of course, this link here, ai.google.dev, to be doing that. And the price of admission today, there's free drinks, there's free food waiting for you, but what we need from you in return is your feedback. So please, would everyone scan that QR code? Urchit's going to be checking that you did it before he lets you have a drink, you know. And we would love to hear, how was this for you? How can we continue to make these better for you as founders, as builders? So we'll give you 2 minutes to do that. EP team, do we have any background music? I didn't. Yeah, okay, great. We should have had walk-on music the whole time now that I'm... Okay, 2-minute lounge music while you do your survey. All right, I'm seeing some heads come up. If you haven't finished, please continue. Final call to action. Again, if you want to join Startup School and get building with us, please use that QR code and join us. A couple other final things for those here. In New York City on November 18th, there will be another DevFest here at Pier 57. Connected with some fine people right up here in the front that you will come if you want to ask more of on November 18th. You can join that if you're here in New York. And let's go build. Have a great time. Thank you all. Appreciate it. There's a happy hour downstairs on floor 3. So if you did finish your feedback form, you can go get food and drink, and we'll have a great time. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.